Hello everyone, and thank you for viewing this video. I am a reseller and I am going to be doing a series of videos that give you behind the scenes on what I do to run my business and support myself, make a living, and save money all at the same time. This is the only job I have, it's the only job I need, and I love it. It's I would say probably close to full-time hours with everything that I do with it. But I want to share what I do so that perhaps it can help some of you start your own business. First thing I want to talk about is where I get my items. 95%, even more than that, probably like I would say 99% of what I get comes from a Goodwill outlet. Or if you are within an hour, I would say, of a Goodwill outlet, then that's where you should shop. I'm going to talk about the outlet in this video. So first thing, when I Google what is an outlet store, let's see what it says. It's also called the bins. So if you hear somebody say, I visited the bins today, they're talking about the big blue bins that are in the Goodwill outlet stores. You'll see in this video that I'm going to show you. It's a clearance center where the unsold items from standard retail Goodwill stores are liquidated. Merchandise is placed in massive rolling bins that are blue usually, rather than on racks, and items are generally sold in bulk by weight rather than individually. All right, couple of notes on that. Not all outlets are items that were once at a retail store. Sometimes they go directly to the outlet, depending on volume. So a lot of times what I've noticed when I go into an outlet is a lot of people will avoid bins that have those Goodwill price tags on them because they think that they were at a Goodwill store, and they were, and that there's nothing good there because somebody would have gotten it. But I don't ever count those items out because a lot of times what I look for, other people don't realize is valuable anyway. So just wanted to make that note. So how it works. The treasure hunt vibe, stopping in an outlet is a high energy warehouse style experience. That's putting it nicely. Bins are constantly rotated through the day, and crowds of shoppers, often resellers, will gather to dig for hidden gems when fresh bins are rolled out. Pricing by the pound. Instead of having individual tags, almost all clothing, textiles, and housewares are priced by weight. For example, $1.50 to $2 per pound. Larger unique items like furniture are typically individually priced. Final sale. All sales are final. No extras. Okay. Tips for first timers. Be prepared to dig. Many savvy shoppers bring work gloves or hand sanitizer as the bins contain thousands of unsorted items and can get dusty. Again, putting it nicely. Watch the rotation when staff roll out fresh bins. Shoppers are usually required to step back. That is the way it is at my store. When the whistle blows or the go-ahead is given, the mad dash begins. Okay. All right, so a couple of things I want to say. At my particular Goodwill outlet, they usually keep the bins tops covered when they bring them out so that people can't see it first and fight to be around one particular bin that might have stuff in it that everybody wants. That's number one. Number two, the pound prices start at $1.15, I think, per pound. And go up from there. Clothing is generally, I think, $1.89. I get a discount at mine if you go over 25 pounds, which I normally do, of clothes. Bags are sold separately at about $2, and shoes are sold separately at about $2. Books are sold separately for like 25 cents, okay? So that gives you an idea of pricing. So if you get a lot of light items or medium weight items that are valuable, that is the best way to go. But sometimes you'll find some heavier items like full-length coats and such that are also valuable, but they're going to cost you a little bit more because they're heavier. So a lot of people that resell actually don't buy certain things that are too heavy because they don't want to spend as much on those. I will buy heavy things if I can get a profit on it. So right now I want to go to a video that's going to show you what the inside of a outlet store is like. They all vary slightly in their processes, but generally this is the feel of what you're going to get when you go into an outlet store. So let's take a look. I'm going to go a look inside the Goodwill outlet stores, and let's play it.
eBayers lined up outside the Goodwill outlet store on Kearney Street. Once in, they took their places. This is not their first rodeo. The bins of merchandise rolled in, and they waited for that one simple word. Stop! And then it all broke loose.
We do a sort, a rotation every 30 minutes, and we'd like to call it adventure thrift.
This is one of 3 Goodwill outlet stores in the Denver metro area, and it is not like your typical Goodwill store.
What do you look for? This is like a madhouse.
It is. These people, they get very aggressive. Sometimes you have to be really careful.
Do you buy and sell? Do you buy and keep? What do you do?
I don't buy and sell. Basically, just kind of what's going to sell, right? I mean, you just got to pick through. You got to see what's here because it's really a crapshoot what you're going to find in here.
These are the original $2 Chucks.
Gently used Converse Chuck Taylors, $2.53. That would be $1.49 per pound.
Sometimes you'll find like little stuffed animals or little stuff that's really light that'll be like 25 cents or something that'll go for $10.
Merchandise, and lots of it, are brought out in giant bins. Nothing is sorted. It truly is like a box of chocolates. Bargain hunters to boutique owners, all are welcome. All you need is a sense of adventure,
I'm totally buying this.
a few dollars, and a love of the chase. Dandaroo, Fox 31.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what it kind of looks like in front of, inside of a Goodwill bin. So a couple of things that I want to mention is, this guy was talking about he finds a little stuffed animal for 25 cents and sells it for $10. I don't do $10 stuff. I put a lot of effort into my photos and my postings and sending things off and just working in general. So I have a minimum threshold that I like to maintain. If I can't post something for at least $25 to $30, I don't get it. Or a lot of times, I'll get into this at a different time in more detail, but a lot of times I will lot stuff together. So if I see, say, a lot of a particular thing, for example, maybe there's somebody dumped off a lot of nylon slips in a bin, because I happen to sell a lot of nylon lingerie that's vintage. Then I'll take all of those slips, say I have like 10 slips, and I'll lot them up together and as one set and sell them as a group. So I won't sell those individually, but I'll lot them up because you get obviously more money for that. Now, the next videos I'm going to be getting more into my process. This was strictly to tell you where you can get the cheapest stuff. It's next to free, okay? Generally speaking, each trip, and I do about 2 trips right now. I do about 2 trips per week at 4 hours per trip to the outlets, and I make my entire living from those items. So on average, I'll spend between $50 and $100 per trip, and it nets me enough to pay all of my bills and have money to save. So I'm going to be going more into my process. Next up, we're going to be talking about going into the talking about doing postings with photos, talking about how to photograph, what I've used to photograph, and then I'm going to go into going into posting. So hopefully you'll join me for my next videos. But just to reiterate, in my opinion, some people go to estate sales, some people go to yard sales, some people go to the regular Goodwill. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say. The first couple of times I went into the outlet, I was like, I'm never going in there again. It's extremely competitive. You have to have a little bit of a thick skin in there and just sort of stay in your own lane. I remain quiet. I don't talk to anyone really in there. There's some people that are regulars and go in there and talk and socialize. I don't do that because I don't want anybody to know about my business or what I'm doing there. But the actual process of picking stuff out of the bins can be very aggressive. You have to figure out the fine line between being aggressive enough to get something that you want without stepping on someone else's toes. And part of that is if you wait in line and they bring out a fresh bin, you go up to the bin and you're standing there and then they say shop. Pick what's in front of you first. Don't go for necessarily something else that's all the way across from you in front of somebody else if they're grabbing for it as well. So that's kind of an unwritten rule in my bin store. If you grab something and somebody else is grabbing for it, but you happen to get it first, it's kind of like not looked upon well. You have to be willing to go into a somewhat tense environment at times because people are trying to grab for the stuff that they want. You have professional people like me that are resellers and go in and they know what they're doing, they know what they're looking for, and they go through and grab what they need. So you just